Takes a long.
Longest minute ever.
When you watch, it's.
See, that clock grows just like that other one did.
They slow themselves down in here, it's so cold.
Yeah, just a minute ago, it was like, well,
Every day, that's after it's on for
like first
It's on there
thing.
twice.
We might.
All right, 6 o'clock, call the meeting in order, if everybody would
So
rise,
once a
pledge
month?
allegiance.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's what I was thinking. I was just like, wait, it's on there twice.
Yeah, no, it might have been the way it
Okay.
fell.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to September 2nd, 2025 meeting. Do roll call. Sheila.
Here.
Anita.
Present.
Amy.
Here.
Lacey. Myself present. Need a motion to approve the agenda. I do have one thing to add under new business. The training up at Frankenmuth, one for the trustee and one for the treasurer. Gonna add that to the, under new business. Other than that, we get a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. If we get approval or a motion to approve our minutes from August 5th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve our minutes from August 5th, 2025.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Financial report. Get a motion to approve our financial report as presented.
I'll make the motion to approve the financial report as presented.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Discussion.
Oh, here, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Discussion.
Lacey, you've got here 24, 25, and 25, 26 fiscal year on the, financial statement?
Yeah, just because.
Is that gonna be
No,
split out next, or taken off next
yeah,
time?
so I
when
wanted
this-
everybody to look at it this time because of the budget amendments and stuff like that, to be able to compare. But eventually I'll go back to having you to see this fiscal year, but I figured towards the beginning, it's nice to see what we did last year.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So I can filter that out next month. I just wanted to get through like the changes that need to be made first.
And I have one other question, where are your, current activity? What are the start and the end date?
So it's the day I print it. It's always the day that it's generated. So the date of the budget start, which is the beginning of a fiscal year, so the activity would be through what's printed on the bottom of the page.
Okay, so we have July and August, but I was looking at some of the treasurer's line items, and it looks like it's just only one month. That's what I was asking.
I'll look at it. I have, if you would've asked me prior, I could've explained, but right now, I would have no idea without clicking. But it's, so when you generate a budget in BSNA, it's through the moment you're generating it. So if I wrote a check before I generated it, that would hit the budget. I could back the date off, like if you only wanted to see, like this ended on the 27th, if you wanted me to end it on the 26th.
But we've
No.
gotten two payments, two paychecks, right?
Oh, yeah, so I don't get the, so we don't have a payroll software, right? So I don't get that, journal entry from Nicolette until the day I receive the bank statement. I have to get the tax number so she can give me the correct, cause
Okay,
sometimes when payroll taxes are paid for, let's say, February, they don't hit until March.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to make sure things hit in the right month when I do that journal entry, so I can clear it.
so we could be a month.
Payroll's definitely
Yeah,
usually a month
Okay.
behind.
I wasn't
Yes.
sure, I was looking at mine in particular, I go, oh, that
Yes.
doesn't, okay.
So I do them, I put the journal entry in so when I have possession of the bank statement, so I don't make mistakes that then need fixed.
Okay, thank you, that makes sense, thank you.
Anything else?
The check registry, we can ask questions on that right now, that's next.
That'll be next on the
Yeah.
paper.
Excuse me.
So right now, so the financial report, we had a motion second, approve the financial report.
Any other discussion for it?
Yep,
Nope.
Okay.
so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Financial report is approved. All right, now payment of bills. We get a motion to accept the payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion to accept the payment of the bills.
I will second it. Any discussion?
I had, just clarification on, check number, first page, 200E, accident fund. I was just curious how often that was being paid.
I think it's quarterly,
Quarterly,
yeah.
okay.
It might be less than that. So that's determined based on an audit, and sometimes they, when they do the audit, they find that we either overpaid or underpaid,
Oh,
and then we have to make up the difference.
okay,
So I think it's quarterly, but it might be less than that.
okay, thank you.
I have a question, Jason, on the
Yes.
aquatic weed control, is that
Yes.
for
Grass
Grass
Lake.
Lake? I
Yep.
thought they were going to terminate that, no?
No, they wanted to keep it going, so
Okay.
they kept it going, and, we did the one payment, we just sent the second payment in,
It's on my desk.
so yep, they just billed for the second payment, and then that'll be taken care of for this season.
Okay, very good.
And the Geico security where it's up, that was for the new server. To get the security cameras back where we can monitor them all the time without them having to come in and do it for us. All right, so we got that, so we need a roll call for paying the bills.
Sheila?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Anita?
Yes,
Jason?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
All right, old business, we had a estimate for South Central Michigan Planning Council about doing a master plan for us. We are a little bit late, which was beyond before we came in. It was 2017, the last time it was updated. It's supposed to be every 5 years. We did find the 2017 copies, so that should help lower this cost on this a little bit. But like I said, the estimated cost is gonna be between $9,500 and $11,500 to get this started. And then being we have the other stuff, they can use that for a lot of the work's already done, so it should drive the cost down a little bit. But I would like a motion if we can get this thing rolling, because without a current master plan, if somebody wanted to come in and contest something that the township is doing, without having that, it would not look favorable to us. This way here, once we get it rolling, we're working on it, and we can use the 2017 to continue on it.
Not necessarily go with a new plan at all, just.
Well,
continue.
they would do census, they would meet if changes need to be made with it, but they have the old baseline
What
to
happened in
start with,
2017.
and then we can alter it to what we wanna see the changes, if there's any changes we want in the community, any growth, any zoning changes, and they would do a new map of the, I'm trying to draw a blank here, what, what's that?
Is it like the zoning map?
It's like a zoning map, it's like the district map, I'm sorry.
There you are.
So that way there, if there's any changes in the districts, we can make recommendations, and it's about a 6 to 7 month process.
Yeah, I
So
was
it's-
reading something about 9 months.
It could be as long as that, but like I said, with having the first part of it, done, and I think it took the village, took like 7 or 8 months to get theirs through the county.
Yeah.
But that was all brand new, and like I said, we have one in there, they have the counties, all of our information was already all done through the county, so they have that information at their.
And that's been updated.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm not pleased with that situation, if I understand it right, is they passed through drones going through the county and doing their zoning, their measurements or whatever. That's not okay.
We're
That's
not doing it.
good. That's great.
So we're going out on our own.
Right, so that works. Yeah, that's good. That was gonna be my next question, because to me, that county plan is invasive and not okay. And so, my
And like I
next
said,
question was, are we gonna make more ordinances in zoning which can be, more control of our community?
so basically what our master plan would have to set up, things that we are looking for, things that we want in the future.
Right.
And then we can go through if we wanted to do a new ordinance. We couldn't say, like right now, we couldn't just say, okay, we're gonna pass an ordinance to control drones if we don't have something in our master plan.
I understand.
To underdo that, so yeah, so there's like all the review, the strategies, they'll have multiple meetings with us, they'll come down to the
Right.
meetings, we'll have to do a couple planning commission meetings, to get all this public input, to get all this stuff, to get our master plan up to date.
Right, okay,
This is just to get the ball rolling.
This is just to get the ball rolling.
right, okay.
And then, like I said, we'd have to vote on it, all the stages
Sure.
and all that.
Yep, that makes sense, okay.
I'd like to see us, if we approve this tonight, have a not to exceed price unless it comes back to the board for further
Absolutely.
review.
I agree.
Not to exceed the 11,000.
11,500 would, he's claiming to be the most expensive
Right.
cost.
Okay.
So, yeah.
okay.
I'll make a motion that we get this going with not to exceed 11,500.
A second.
Do roll call on that one?
Anita,
Yes.
Sheila,
Yes.
Amy, Jason,
Yes.
myself, yes.
Passed on that. The water in the cemetery. Vince, you were here last meeting. Vince, I seen Vince here. There you go. So, Susan, you're in there, so I mean, Vicky too, same thing. So right now we're looking at between $9,000 roughly to get the water restored to the back part there. Because the only way they can do it is directional bore from the one end underground all the way back there and then rehook it up. Or if we go to put a well in back there, we're looking at $6,500 for a well, and then we gotta finish off part of the building to have it heated in order to house the bladder tanks and all that, if we would change it in back there.
How'd they do it before?
It's the property that was sold where the apartments went,
Yeah.
the water line is underground there and there's a leak in it, and
On
it's
their
on,
side.
it's underneath one of the buildings. It's our line that runs back, cause it used to be the township's property, and when they sold that property, the water lines were still in there, and apparently they either, during excavation, one of the lines broke or something and it's leaking, so the village has shut that line down because we can't get underneath their building to repair a line, so those lines are abandoned, no longer usable. So somehow we gotta get water from Vermont Street all the way to the back. And the only way that, we had 3 excavators up there, the only way they found feasible to do it would be come off that tap there by the flagpole and directional bore on everything because of all the trees, the park, the driveways and that, go all the way to the back, rehook it up back there, and then go over behind the building, cap the old line off that went underneath the apartments. And we're, like in the $9,000 range to get water back there.
That's the
Can't
most
they just
logical.
hand drill, hand poach for them?
Well, I mean, we talked about that, but then it's the same thing, it's, we either gotta have a place to heat it or someone to maintain.
Cause they'd have to turn it off in the winter.
Right, so you're
Right.
gonna have an expense increase all at once, or you're gonna have an expense
Depends on
increase
what-
every year, forever, by
Well,
heating
yeah,
and,
those, the options.
How long has it been inoperable?
This
Usually
spring,
so Since they turned it on.
Yeah, since they turned on, yeah, they found the
Spring.
leak.
Okay. What is the water used for?
Vince had the one spigot back there so they could power wash equipment, maintain stuff. And then there was spigots along the north side for watering flowers and if people wanted water for their stuff. Yeah, 'cause my thoughts were like, okay, so we have two spigots up front that they can use for water, but then we're back to the same boat. Now there's no water back at the maintenance building to maintain equipment and stuff.
So there was no surveying or anything done when they went to sell that property to see what all.
It was surveyed. They knew the lines
They
were
knew the
there,
lines were
but
there.
they didn't know exactly where they were and
And
during
it
construction, heavy
doesn't
equipment.
necessarily mean it broke during construction, it could've froze.
It could've
over the
froze during the winter, yeah.
I mean, water lines break every day in the
But
village,
the
they're
problem-
ancient.
The problem with it is it's underneath one of the buildings, so there's no way to repair.
Well, you don't even know where the break is, so you'd have to dig, I mean,
Right.
you could dig
Yeah, it could be on our side, it
1,000
could be on their
yards before
side.
you
Well,
find the break.
all the line is over under it's on that side of the property, so, and there's no way to put a line back on that side because their property comes up to the walnut trees. All the main power lines going to the back are on the other side of the walnut trees. So the only option we have is to go over to the Memorial Park and go back and hook it up that way. I mean, the smartest way to do it would be to go over by the flagpole, go in there, hook it up. That way we have one city will turn on and turn off. We don't have to worry about pumps going bad, something freezing back in another part of it. Anybody can do it. If we're not here, if Vince isn't there, who's ever in there running the cemetery, they make a call to the city comes, turns the water on in the springtime, there's water through the park, don't have to worry about it. They shut it off, we pay $60 a month bill.
It's like $68 a quarter.
A quarter,
To hook
so,
up to village.
the village has already got the water
It's already
there.
hooked up. That's just
We're
for
just
usage.
trying to get the back part back operational.
So the village turns off the couple of spigots that we.
So
have
Jason,
that
you
are
brought up
leaking, way
this
over by
with me
the
last month, and you
entrance.
said
But they're not connected
that
to the
it
ones
was
that.
a big expense, and we discussed tabling this till next year. I think this should be tabled until next spring. We're almost out of the season anyway, there isn't gonna be. That's an awful big expense just to throw in out of the blue when we hadn't budgeted for it.
Yeah, and we can still we can table this, and I can get with Vince to find out where he's at budget wise, to see where we're at, because like I
Because you
said,
wait till spring and then the time it takes to have all that done.
Right.
You've already moved half me in the summer.
Right.
And they use that for, when they pour foundations too, they need water.
no, I mean, I agree, we gotta figure something out to do it,
I
but,
feel like it'd be better to make a decision this year, because like just getting someone out to do the work in the spring, it could be midsummer before they could come.
yeah.
We need to find out where the money's going to come from.
We could amend the budget.
Jason just said he would talk to Vince and see about the budget.
So let's table it for today.
Yeah, we're tabling for today, I'll get with Vince, and before our next meeting, we'll figure out where we can go and, what parts we can do to try to help lower the cost, and like I said, I've called the 2 directional boring companies that are around that do it, and we've had 3 excavators, and I'm looking for another option, but like I said, with all those trees side the road, we can't just do if they trenched it and put it in, it would be a third of the cost, but we take a chance on killing every one of those trees all the way back there.
Maybe we could get somebody to donate. Some rich businessman to donate.
Yes, we
Vicky used to. Speaking of water, speaking of water, there was some signs you wanted cleaned up?
We did a couple, I took Jack back there, me and him did, so we get pictures on the website.
Okay.
So we just, that one needs to be replaced, I was gonna get with Vince to find out, because the lettering is all like peeling a little bit, so the one sign looked pretty good, so we cleaned that up, we got pictures for the
I was gonna
website.
ask if
Yeah.
there was specific ones,
Yeah,
because I don't want to tote water and wash them all.
right, yep.
I'd wash one.
Okay, so we are gonna table this until next month, we'll make a decision what route we're gonna go at next month's meeting, figure out where we're gonna budget it from, and go from there.
Cause you're not sure, you might have to dig up would you have to dig up the blacktop?
No.
We know, if we do directional boring, there's room by the front spigot, they could dig a small hole there, go down, go underneath, follow the edge of the road all the way to the back, come up by the back spigot, dig a little hole back there by that, which there's a room, and then reconnect them.
Okay.
And I mean, that's the least,
It's
Least
most
is-
costly, but it's most logical,
How
if
deep
you
does
ask
it
me.
it's 4 foot deep,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's,
so.
alright.
Alright, so that is tabled till next month. Our horse hitching post out back, we got installed. We did, 10 foot, spot, so it's big enough, like two horses can be there. If we need more later in the future, we build it so it can be added to. So hopefully there's a shovel out back there, so, you know, somebody asked who's gonna clean up. Most of the people, like I said, there's shovel and stuff, there's a field out back there. I talked to Johnny and those guys, they said we can throw the manure out there, it's not a big deal, but at least that's there, so we shouldn't have an issue there.
What was the cost?
I put the receipt on your desk, what was it,
I didn't.
$186.
Oh, pretty good.
So yeah, just,
Looks good.
so yeah,
Yeah, it does look good.
so.
I didn't know, I noticed it today. I thought, oh,
Our township website got updated. I don't know if people have looked into that yet. All of our forms are online, building, plumbing department, electrical, mechanical, everything is easily accessible now. Trying to make it more user friendly. What else is on there, Bobby? We put local restaurants. Anything that's in White Pigeon Township, we featured the restaurants on there.
County websites for, like healthcare or, COA.
Commission on Aging. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, Bobby went over. I mean, she pulled a ton of stuff. A lot of people asked for things that can be put on it. I know we were doing Beck Wagman asked me, she was gonna ask you about doing a link to the food drive on there. Did she get hold of you yet? Okay. So there's a couple things that's gonna be on there. We believe we have all the departments, listed. The ordinances are on there. There's a search bar so you can look up stuff for the ordinances. The guy did a real nice job on it, so it looks really impressive. So if there's information that people need, I mean, it's very user friendly now and manageable, so we're very thankful to have that up and going, so.
are all those random documents that are down at the bottom still on there? I think they were files. Did those ever get put into our file system there?
I don't know what random documents you're
I
talking
know,
about.
there's just a whole bunch of them. They were all put on the
Are you looking on
homepage,
Are you looking on the computer or are you looking on your phone?
home computer.
Okay, I'll have to look.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
I thought maybe
yeah.
they were, there for a reason. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it, so yeah, we'll look at that. Alright, that's the update for that. Phone system is supposed to be next week. He's got almost all the materials in for the phone system. So our new system will be set up where when you call in, it'll be for the treasurer push 1, for the supervisor push this, for the office, clerk, fire department, and then that's when we're gonna try to work on getting the burn permit set up, because one nice thing that they can set it up to, the voicemails that'll come in will automatically go to an email that goes to that account. So it'll email the voicemail to the person. So like the fire department, they can have it go to 2 or 3 of the emails for the guys. So when the burn permit comes in, it'll automatically send them an email with the voicemail right on it. So they know where that stuff's at. So hopefully we can get away with the paper part of it, and just people having to come here to get burn permits. And so we'll keep you updated on that. That's supposed to be, they're hoping everything was in this week, and they were gonna try to get everything and start installing next week.
So did we send out, advertise for bids on this system?
I called 3 places that had them, and yeah, we went with it wasn't the cheapest, but it was the middle range, but it had all the extra lines, and they gave us 2 extra phones for free where the other companies
And
didn't.
so how much is this, and who is the person that was awarded this?
It's Great Lakes Technology is the one that's doing it out of 3 of hers. I don't remember what the total bill was. We talked about 30. I had to pull.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Because we've never looked at or voted on anything, how much money to spend on this. This is the first that I'm hearing about it, that, there was actually a bid accepted.
Yeah, it was just
Because we
basically.
should start seeing bids when they come in, the board, early if possible, so we have time to look at them and make a decision.
Yeah, I just had it budgeted under the maintenance part of it, that we were taking care of it, because we discussed replacing the phone system. Under the payment that we talked about, under the price, when we discussed it and when we first came in. So, update with that. All the old business, new business, wanna get approved training up at Frankenmuth. Amy's gonna go up for a trustee for the day, and Anita's gonna go up for the treasurers for a day. Be out
2 days each.
So it's
2
2
days,
days.
or 2 days, yeah, so night and, so the night for the motel and then.
It's
the
11
second day.
hours of training.
So, we have money aside, do we have a price of, that
It
was,
was $367, and then you get an early bird discount if you book 2 people, so hopefully we can get hers less than that,
I
Yep.
think it,
or close.
I think it has to be for the same conference,
I know, that's
so.
what I thought too, but he
I was
said
reading it, I thought
Oh.
it said for just 2 people
Oh,
too,
okay.
because it was all the same conference,
I
but
thought
different,
it was just
and
for
it's,
trustees, like if more than one trustee
Yeah.
went.
Okay.
It could be discounted if we pay for 2, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's close to $367 a person.
That's just for
A night.
That's for the
That's
seminar.
for the retreat.
That's for the retreat.
There's also
Yeah.
hotel.
Then hotels
The
on.
hotel room is separate, and that's $344 for 2 nights.
For 2 nights, okay. Yeah, cause I wouldn't do it,
Right,
I would
Yep.
think of, if it was gonna be a night.
right.
Yep.
And why would you pay for it if you're only gonna go for 1 day? You should definitely go for the 2 days.
Oh,
Yep.
So with mileage, then you're looking at about, what, $900? $950 each?
With mileage. she
I'm
said.
looking at the,
did you do the,
Mileage is 70
Should've brought
cents
the name.
reimbursement per mile.
$367 a person for the early bird rate.
Cause hers is a different date, isn't it?
it's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
couple days
In
after
the same
yours.
week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
I
mine's
missed
October the 1st and 2nd.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine's the
It's a month ahead
27th
of-
and 28th, remember, cause you texted me?
yeah.
Thought it was a Saturday,
Oh, I thought
Sunday.
there were one was Monday and Tuesday, and one was,
Yeah, mine's Monday, Tuesday.
So it's all in October.
it's all in October. But we need to get it approved so they get the discounts on it, and,
I mean, I would never say no to training, so I feel like that's,
so I looked at it too.
as long as you don't pay for it and then not go, cause that would be a huge cost. to
For the
company.
treasurer, they've got, collecting personal property tax, defending your tax collection process, 2 roles, 1 role, the tax, treasurer, assessor, tag team, yeah. A financial stewardship,
Times
complying with the
7.
OMA, a couple other things, investments, how to invest your township dollars, reconciling, your taxes,
And
and, also something about the uniform chart of accounts. So it's pretty extensive.
$251.
did you times it by 2? Cause you're gonna
Oh,
go there
back.
and back.
That's
Yeah,
on back,
right.
yeah.
251.
How far is it?
Oh,
139 miles.
So we have the cost, which is $367.
179 miles. 2 hours and 48 minutes to Frankenmuth. So that's 170 miles, 179 miles one way,
Oh.
I'm assuming, yes.
So we need a motion to approve the payment of that for the,
For the
Training for each-
retreat, the rooms, and the mileage.
yep. I'll make the motion to approve it, but I'm not gonna say no to training.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Do roll call?
Amy?
Yes.
Sheila?
Yes.
Anita?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Alright. We're to the portion of public comment. Any comments? Yes.
I just have a question. Lacey, when is your next county clerk training?
Training?
Yes. Because every I attend a lot of meetings, but every clerk says that there's a training coming up in October, I think in Lansing.
Election clerk?
Yes.
Like the same thing as that, probably?
I don't know, I just know
So
that,
there's a clerk's training. So the thing that they're going to, it's available for everybody. Clerk,
Okay.
supervisor, trustees. So I would assume in October,
okay.
which I've decided that it doesn't work for me because I have a young child at home that's not ready for mom to be gone for that long. Someday though, I do want to go to it. But we have election training in the winter.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about, for someone to
I don't know,
be
I'm-
on the election, to
Yeah.
work the elections?
I just know Constantine's mentioned their clerk going to a training. Mottville's mentioned it as well.
It could be this one,
That's, I
Yeah,
just,
probably that.
because the
Okay.
clerks, I think, was the 29th of September
okay.
for the clerk's training.
Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Public comment is closed. Any correspondence from the board? Zoning officers report. Back to Dogwood Shores getting cleaned up. They are working on it. The lady's vehicle broke down, so Mike did give him a 15-day extension through, it expires on 9/16/25. So he gave me, so that part, so hopefully they're getting that stuff cleaned up. I drove back there was some improvement, so get that taken care of. Was doing, received a property complaint on Fawn River Road and East Cybert Road. 15-day letters were sent out to them. Those expire 9/15. I know Mike has been writing a ton of zoning applications, so building is going really good in our area.
Did we skip correspondence?
No, I said, did you have something?
Yeah, I did,
I'm sorry, don't go.
I just had two quick things. We're having an election in November, number one, so our meeting will be Wednesday the 5th instead of the 4th. And we got approval from the Michigan Bureau of Elections that we got a grant, which I emailed you guys about, because I'm not really sure how it's coming in, but it was approved this week, so it should be here soon. That's it, sorry.
No problem.
I forgot, what's the election in November? I remember seeing it. I
It's
thought of you.
911, village renewal.
Treasurer's report, yeah.
Yep. So, last board meeting in August the 5th, I was out sick, so I didn't turn in my report. So I've kind of done a combined report. We're continuing to collect our summer 2025 property taxes. We've collected from July the 1st through the 31st of August. We've run a report for our property tax collection. The total tax roll to be collected is $3,160,659. Collected to date for just these past 2 months is $820,002. So we have an uncollected to date of $2,340,657. That's a lot. That's a lot. We did get real busy today. People are starting to come in now and, and wanting to pay. So, I also did, I've been dispersing our collected tax funds to St. Joseph County and Township every 2 weeks as required. And I ran monthly bank statement ending balances from the 1st of July to the 31st of August. Our tax collection fund in July collected $439,000. August, or that was the ending balance, $439,130. August ending balance is $393,861. Now, some of these, like the tax collection, if I've done disbursements and the checks haven't been cashed yet, they're not reflected in this balance. So this is just kind of an overall bank statement balance. Lacey does the general fund, but I went ahead and pulled those figures as well. July was ending balances $1,346,387. August was $1,353,131. The only other active account we have is our savings fund. In July, we had a balance of $229,000 some odd dollars. That was after I transferred in June the $45,000. No, excuse me, I'm on the wrong line. That money was, extra money was put in there for interest, for special assessments, for Oak Street paving and Burkhart paving. That money as collected for interest goes into the savings fund. The fire equipment fund has same balance as for July and August, $94,365, and that was after in June I transferred $45,000 from the general fund into the fire equipment fund, and there should have been another $15,000 to total the $60,000 that was supposed to go into the fire equipment fund, but it's my understanding that was spent to put toward the pole barn. Am I remembering that right, Lacey? The $15,000 went to pay on the pole?
Different things for the pole barn.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, so that's why we only did the $45,000 versus the $60,000. And we have two other accounts that they both go in inactive, and I have to reactivate them, so I would like to look at this. It's a disaster fund. It doesn't look like it earns anything more than maybe a penny interest for the whole year. $575, and then there's a fire insurance protection fund that's got $101 in it.
They're required by the state to have.
Is that,
So the fire one, if we have a house that burns down and the insurance money comes in for like cleanup, it's required to go into that account to be withheld. And then the interest is just earnings from different fires, like obviously like 4 cents a month for the last 20 years or something like that.
okay.
You know, so that, and that's a requirement of the state.
So do we have to put $1 a year into them to keep them active?
I mean, we've had enough fires. I mean,
Okay.
there's a fire every couple of years, unfortunately, which there are enough fires.
Since I started, we started in November with these two accounts being inactive. And they've never had any activity on them, not this year, so about every, I don't know if it's every 3 months or 6 months, I can't recall right now. But they go inactive, so I have to go in and reactivate them, because if they go inactive, then after a certain amount of time, you know, the state can come in and take the money, supposedly. That's what the bank said.
And that's with any savings account
I
that,
mean, since I've been here, we've had like 5 fires, cause I have the files on them, cause we have to put the money in there, and then when they do the cleanup proper and it's
I remember
approved.
that lady came in for a refund. Remember that?
the one right down here on
Yeah.
Lutz Road.
But it was in the general fund, it wasn't in this, it wasn't in this account, you wrote it out of the general fund. I need to learn more on it, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I know I wrote the check.
Yeah, I
don't
remember
know
too.
what you do. I can try to help you more when we have a fire, but I guess that would be a question for the bank, how often do they need activity to not go dormant?
And then we have to put $1 or whatever. or
Well,
you-
I
or you
just
can-
have to keep going in and
Do these ones-
reactivate them,
They only come with a quarterly statement?
yes.
Yeah, so probably quarterly you could
Yeah.
add $1.
Or just
Reactivate, we can just
reactivate
reactivate
them,
them.
we just have to sign for them, but I'll put that on my memory bank to do that. That's all I have.
Alright, thank you. Supervisor's report, Planning Commission, October 6th, no new business until then. Board review, be December 10th. I believe we have 2 2 days in it, don't, we're reviewing, we meet with Kevin.
The email just said one.
Just
but
one
that
that said,
doesn't mean.
oh, I
that-
think he was gonna try to do the 1 8-hour day instead of 2. Zoning Board of Appeals, or Zoning Board of Appeal, no new business. Sewer Department, truck that's out front, that's up for bid, pretty nice truck, if somebody knows needs a plow truck, it's been municipal maintained, either the Chevy dealer or Wagman Farm Service have done everything. The snow plow is almost brand new on it. They're taking bids through August, end of August? No,
End of September.
end of September. It goes into the last September, the last Monday in September, they're gonna open bids on that truck. So if anybody knows, if anybody needs a nice heavy duty truck. Fire Administration Board is this month on the 16th. The fire department had 9 calls this past month. 3 were to White Pigeon Township, 3 were to Mottville Township, 1 to the village, and 1 mutual aid to another department. I believe it was Middlebury. Sheriff's Department, we called them, we had several complaints about the excessive truck traffic down by Fish Lake where the 131 detour is there. For some reason, all of a sudden, they started going through past McDonald's, hitting Lutz Road, jogging around, going down that way. So, talked to Sheriff Spence. He has upped road patrols out there, trying to slow traffic down. It is 40 mile an hour, and a semi going 40 mile an hour compared to a car going 40 mile an hour seems a lot faster. So he said that everybody that they've been monitored, they pulled like one guy over that was going like 2 mile an hour over the speed limit, and they've just been trying to keep their patrol units being seen out there to try to divert traffic away from that area if possible. Louis, yes?
In addition to that, I had a citizen call from there, and I contacted the state police, Lieutenant Lindsay
Okay,
from the Marshall Post, and he was going to assign the Motor Carrier Unit Division
okay,
to sit in the guy's driveway, because the guy said, you can use my driveway.
yep,
And he's also gonna send troopers, regular troopers, to
Okay.
sit there frequently
yep,
and slow them down. Unfortunately, they're using that route because of the construction.
yes. And
It should alleviate itself once it's over with.
right, and I contacted John Lindsay over at the county. It is a,
You mean the state police?
no, John, or,
Road
Road-
commission.
road commission, I'm sorry, the road
Oh, John
commission.
Lindsay, okay.
Yeah, so he looked it up, the road is heavy enough to run all the trucks down it. We cannot stop cameras from happening, so they legally have every right to be on that road as anybody else. It's kind of a pain because there is a tight corner down there right by the Indiana line, and so we're doing everything we can, cause I was trying to, can we put up no truck signs, whatever, and he's like, we can't do it because we can't enforce that law. The road is built heavy enough for truck traffic, and like I said, yeah, hopefully they said another month and the 131 it's supposed to be open back up, so hopefully that, like you said, alleviates all that problem. Gets rid of some of that extra traffic out there. The Sheriff's Department, Chad, is also gonna get us a bid. There are several other townships that are looking for bids about putting their own road patrol officer in the township. So it would be a county officer that would be funded by the township, that we would have an officer in our township that's dedicated to us, along with the other road patrol guys that are around there. So, said it doesn't hurt to get a bid on it, so we're looking to see where they come back number wise, and we'll see where we're at. If it's something we want to entertain the idea, I don't think it's a horrible idea, because police presence, usually deters a lot of things, even just having an extra patrol car going around our township.
How many hours would that be?
He's gonna put the bid package together where, so once I get the numbers,
Yeah,
we'll present it, and like I said, it's not something we're gonna make a snap decision. We got a budget for it, and it might not be until the next fiscal year, but at least we'd have an idea. Cause like I said, there are some of the smaller villages and stuff have asked them to bid on taking over the villages and stuff as well. So, I figured, it doesn't hurt to take Yeah, price on it, get a price on it and see where we can go.
It's usually limited to what the township can bear.
Right,
If the township says we want 3 shifts around the clock, then they'll quote that, and then if the township can afford it, the township gets it.
yep,
I've seen it done in other counties as well as our county in the past, and it works out pretty well for that particular township.
yep,
Where it becomes a problem is if the deputy doesn't stay in the township.
right.
Right, it needs to
Yeah.
be like life care, where there's a discount if they're not providing the service that they said they would.
Yep,
Correct.
and I know Colonial Lake Association has reached out about putting marine patrols out there. They wanna pay for marine patrol where they would have
Yeah.
all these dedicated dates where they're looking at funding that. There's multiple things, so I mean, like I said, like I said,
It could work out.
it doesn't hurt to ask, and worst thing we can do is say, no, we can't afford it, and go on.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
One more thing, because
Yeah,
I've gotta go to
no
another
problem.
meeting. There's been some concern about the fatal traffic crash that occurred down there.
yep,
And, I've looked into it, and the prosecutor's hands, she's getting beat up pretty bad. I can tell you that the prosecutor's limited to what she knows. And if the state police or any law enforcement doesn't supply a report or a complaint, there's nothing the prosecutor can do. And so there's been some delay, and it's in the process. She's waiting to jump on this case but she can't do anything until obviously law enforcement submits reports. So I wanted that to be known because a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of phone calls.
oh,
from
yeah,
people in the
yeah, we
area
have to, yeah.
wondering why isn't she doing anything? Well, it's not, she can't do anything unless she has a report,
Right,
so.
okay.
Hey Louis, has there been any discussion about, golf carts being on these 55-mile-an-hour roads where this accident happened? Are there any
Yes, there was-
licenses that need to be obtained or insurances? I don't really know too much about other than it got rear-ended.
Yes, there was discussion years ago when it was approved, and it is legal as long as the golf cart is legal and has turn signals, seat belts, headlights, taillights, brake lights, etc.
Street legal.
As long as it is street legal, it's legal for it to be on the road.
Okay.
Granted, I don't think it's the wisest choice when you got people traveling at 55, 60 miles or more an hour, but,
And no license is required?
No,
As long as you have a
well, yeah,
driver's
the operator of the
license.
golf cart
Yeah.
has to have a driver's license.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
there's other
So any-
requirements,
okay.
there's
There's
other
age
requirements.
requirements.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
age
That has to be on
requirements,
your homeowner's
And-
policy.
and it wasn't, and the golf cart should be insured too, because I used to live on a lake, and so I know.
Yeah.
My car had to be insured also, because it's smart to do that. However, you know, you can't control stupid. If people do stupid things,
yep,
you know, they're liable to create a problem. In this particular case, they were legal. It's just that the driver of the car was stupid, you know, and,
Okay, thanks.
yep.
alright, building grounds, Dave has redone the women's bathroom, got that painted back there, we got the leaks all stopped. We're getting ready to do a little bit of more revamping the guy's bathroom, take care of some of the rusting, all the handrails and stuff in there. They're looking at putting better ventilation in there to take care of that part, and that's all I have for.
I have a comment, a
Yes,
question
yeah.
about that. So we talked last month about, the township employee manual, that after 90 days, the township employee is to get a raise in pay. So I think that Mr. Fenner falls into that category, does he not? Could we look into that?
He's contract labor, right?
Yeah.
He's an employee.
He's
He
contract
is an
labor.
employee.
Is
We
he?
pay him as an employee, but I think
Okay.
by looking into it,
Yeah.
we could have that discussion.
Yep.
Okay. Next.
Okay, I thought it was, I didn't realize it, yes.
He started out that way.
Okay,
Yeah, we
okay.
did start him out that way, and we just kind of thought that employee would be better, because the taxes aren't taken out, he's gonna get a 1099, he's gonna have to pay in, if he's retired from somewhere, he will have to pay in.
Gotcha,
So it's
okay.
just better to be a employee.
What's he get paid now, you know?
$25 an hour, and that's why I think that it would be discussed, because that's more than I've ever paid any cleaning person since I worked here or
But
in the
he's
village
not just a
hourly.
cleaning person.
Right, he does a lot of
our
other
maintenance,
things.
he does a lot of different, jobs that
I
you
mean,
would pay
Chad
more if you
Carpenter,
hired a contractor
There's a
to
lot
come
of
in and
people
do
that
it.
have worked, you know, I feel like that's a pretty, we started him high, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be a board,
Yeah.
we could consider what we think would be fair and discuss it and come back next month.
Like he did all of that broken concrete all around the stripe around the building, repaired it all, painted it all. He does a lot
But
of
we never
things.
even decided on a wage for him either, that was just put on his timesheet.
Because contract labor, yeah. We did that. No, we'll discuss it and we'll go and look at where we
Okay.
go with it. And,
Yeah.
ambulance report, Amy.
Yeah, we had a meeting last Wednesday.
You skipped cemetery.
Oh, yeah. There wasn't, I didn't have a summit. Did he do a summit?
He called and
Okay.
said they're mowing and trimming. Also, they're removing urns that are broken and they're storing them in the building in case somebody wants to get to them.
Okay.
Who's mowing out here? Is Vince back?
September 15th.
I know,
Is there some guy out here mowing it?
That's Kevin,
okay, well, that's,
I'd like to know.
with
yeah.
no shirt on. That wouldn't be Kevin.
That wouldn't be Kevin.
They
No,
were
Kevin wouldn't be able,
riding the lawnmower
no,
along the building.
I have no idea then. who that
Maybe
is.
just had on a beige t-shirt.
He does wear a
Maybe
beige,
a beige
he does wear a
t-shirt
beige
on.
t-shirt.
Okay, buns right in.
Yeah, because he would not be a
Definitely
reverend.
not Kevin.
No.
All right, now Amy.
Okay. We had a meeting last Wednesday, and we had an update provided from Life Care, from February through April. He is improving, they have more staff, so the total calls have gone down for our White Pigeon Township. We had, 47, and then 1 month we had 32, and 1 month we had 28, and another month we had 27, is for our township. They do have a waiting list now to become EMTs, which is fantastic. You know, that is going, and they're changing the hours. I couldn't quite catch it all. Something about they're changing the hours here, that they're gonna be here in White Pigeon. So I'm not quite sure. I kinda missed that part. And then we talked about, they said that the longest time for an ambulance was 59 minutes. They had 33 that were over 30 minutes waiting, and only 2 of those were bad. And then with, Josh from security for the county came on, and they were discussing that next year, they're all gonna be upgrading all the fire and EMT monitors, pagers and everything. So that, we have to remember that for our budget next year. Cause it's gonna be over, I think, 800 decimals. And then that way, the state's supposed to be coming down with this, and that way nobody can listen to, scanners anymore, find out. Yeah. Yeah, poor lady in Constantine gets a phone call just about every other day. Cause somebody listens to the scanner and complains, so we're supposed to be upgrading all that too. But, other than that, and Steve, my November meeting is our next one, and he said that will be my last meeting. So,
Steve Wolf from the
Yeah.
Sherman Township, he's
yeah, yep.
stepping down from the
Yeah.
supervisor of the ambulance committee. Administrative assistant report, Bobby.
Besides doing the general office duties, 27 dump passes in August and 26 burn permits. So a lot of people are taking advantage of the dump passes.
Keep our township clean.
I have some, discussion I'd like to talk about this administrative assistant report. You and I talked a couple of months ago about having a little bit more detail, because I know Bobby keeps a QuickBooks and she sends invoices out, and then obviously payments come back in. I'd like to see a report that says I've sent this many invoices out, but to to date, we have collected this many. And I'd like some more information about how much time is being put into doing cemetery duties, like, selling plots and foundations, and all that stuff. Because that all comes through Bobby, and then it all comes through me to deposit. So I would like to see a little bit more information come with it. I think it would be helpful. I think it would be good for everybody to see just how much work and duty comes through that position. Bobby's also collecting tax payments.
Mhm.
I was gonna go without, my deputy and I were going to collect everything, but Jason wanted Bobby to be taking tax money in while we're not open. So she's kinda got that shoved on her to do that, but I would like to see, a little bit more information come through as to everything that she's doing.
We'll work on, see what we can come up with the way to do it, because that just adds more.
I don't want it to be minute,
Yeah.
but she does more than general office duties of collecting dump passes and burn permits. Giving out those. I know there's a whole lot more to it.
Right.
And I would like to see that indicated, as long as it's not a terrible amount of, minute details, but kind of an overall, because this is not reflective of everything that goes through there. She collects a lot of zoning money. I know she processes the invoices that come in from the inspectors, the mechanical, the electrical, and the building. And she goes through to make sure all the checks that they have kept, that have been written to the township, but they keep them themselves, and they turn them in at the end of the month, and then that is, broken out. 90% goes back to the inspector, and 10% is kept here, but it is supposed to go into a fund for equipment type things for the inspectors. So I don't see that we've ever had a line item for that either, so that's just something else.
The auditor does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Well, with that being said, thank you for helping us all with our jobs.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Clerk's report.
Oh, I have a little brief clerk's report. I guess I completed payroll as normal, accounts payable, bank recs are caught up. I prepared the resolution that I said I would, and I put it in your boxes last week, hoping I'd get some feedback. Didn't get any. So I have this, resolution for budget amendments. Needs action really before we start the audit, so that's why I put it together. Other stuff I already said last month, I was changing my office hours to Tuesday, which I have transitioned to Tuesdays. Norma's gonna stay working on Thursdays, that'll give us more open hours, which will be great, since we do have an election in November. Oh, and I made this little keynotes for the election, just because Bobby's gonna start getting a lot of phone calls, so it just helped her answer questions. And I made the thing for the budget amendments that I thought would be helpful. So I guess with that being said, I would like to, under my clerk's report, present this budget amendment
Okay.
resolution, and open it for comment if you guys have anything.
I have a couple of questions. So the deputy clerk, it went over the budgeted $10,000.
Well, yes,
So-
but like I noted in my keynotes, we had a lot of reimbursements too. Reimbursements from the school that the auditor's gonna offset. So there's a lot of things like the school elections are not something that are determined until the budget year starts. So you don't know that you're gonna have that expense.
Mhm.
But then it's reimbursed by the school. So under our revenues, there's money in there to make up that cost difference that came in from the school. But to make our budget look efficient, it should be changed.
Okay.
But that's why I went through the keynotes that kind of explain a lot of them things.
Yeah, and I did look at your keynotes. Maybe you just got done saying that, you know, you're gonna be working Tuesdays and Norma would be in on Thursdays, so there would be more time, and so it kind of clicked in my head, so we're having to do a budget adjustment, yet it seems like maybe we're working more hours, but that makes sense.
I get paid the same whether I'm here 40 hours or 2.
Yeah, you're not, yeah.
So it was,
I know.
Norma's hours are not increasing. She's staying on Thursdays, how she always has.
Mhm.
If we have a special election, that will increase, but I mean, I've never worked a full election year until last year, so I think that only being over $2,500 that was reimbursed by the school is pretty darn good.
Yeah,
Now, the 911 for November, is the county gonna reimburse us for that, or no?
I don't think so. It's not a special election.
Okay.
The state's required to host elections. Only special elections usually are reimbursed.
Okay.
I think.
so Lacey, I have one more
Mhm.
thing on the fire expenses. So the professional services was budgeted at $25,000. What exactly was that for? Because it's been amended now to $240,500.
What was it for originally? Is that what you're
The
asking?
purpose, yes.
The purpose is for, legal expenses if we have any, and it's kind of, books, training. There's a lot of things, like if I opened up that account line from the past year's professional services, it could be like, we had a really large fire and we called in other departments and we bought pizza for everybody, or we supplied coffee, like the year that we had the straight line winds, we had this place open and had coffee and donuts and housing, and it was just unexplained expenses. But that could be, other things that go into it is small things like, maintenance that's within the building. If I see that it's some part of the fire department, I divide the bill in two, put it towards, the fire department and us, just to make it kind of fair. There's a lot of things that are in that amount.
Okay, and the other one is miscellaneous. What does that entail? I went from 0 to 13,000 increase.
Did I put it in my notes?
You might have.
Without looking on it, I don't know, but I know that, some of my notes explain those barn expenses were not planned, and then, I did print a bill and brought it out here as a reference of, we did all this work with boilers, and they did not send us the bill from October 23, they didn't send us the bill to September of 24.
So this is Byler then, in
So
this
some of it could be that.
Okay,
Is that-
because you and I
So
talked
it
last
hit the
week.
wrong fiscal year, and there was no way for me to tell the auditor to offset it, cause the budget, or the, audit had already been done. So, that kind of bit us, but it had to be paid.
Yeah, okay. And then building improvements, was that like the pole barn?
Yes, lots of different things, and we had a huge repair, unexpected repair to the furnace system, and then we also had to install a furnace system in that new pole barn. So there was a lot of things besides the pole barn, like the cement cost, and, they put the overhead storage that they had, you know what I'm talking about, have you been out there?
The mezzanine thing?
Yeah, they put stuff like that in just to, all that stuff was very expensive. So that's really, like, this is huge, like, these budget amendments for the fire department are huge. But, I mean, if you look at the cost of the pole barn, it's not just the pole barn, it's, we had to have the power company come out and move stuff. We had to have the gas company come out and hook up. Like, there was tons of small things that turned into this.
Yeah, and you're familiar with all this stuff, so that's good, and I thought, the taxpayers in the audience here
They
might
should
also
know. Yeah,
like
that
to
is why I
know.
made this.
Yeah,
Because you look at something and it's black and white, no, it isn't. It has several moving pieces that you don't know about if you don't ask. So yeah, there's a lot of things for the fire department that weren't originally planned, and that's why there's so many large changes.
Is it normal for there to be a net positive earnings of $69,083? Is that like lower than normal because of all these extra things that
Is
seem to
it
hit?
lower? I think it's kind of average.
Is it?
I think so.
I didn't know what
It
last
might be a
year
little
was.
lower than average, or lower than the last year, just because of the,
But somewhere in that ballpark, maybe with, looking through everything,
I was
making the
impressed that we
adjustments.
still had that much earning doing all of these changes. I was like, oh no, is this gonna work out for
Yeah.
us? So I was kind of happy, but I mean, it could be better, honestly, but I mean, you can't build a building like that and not expect it to bite a little.
Well, I was a little concerned initially that the CD that was with Omni Credit Union was cashed out early to pay for this pole barn. So that has left our savings account and our ability to invest money substantially cut in half from what we had. And I don't know how, with just little bits of interest earnings, et cetera, that we can put in it, that we will ever be able to, recoup some of those losses that would have been an investment that would have brought income.
Right,
You know.
not without really watching our pennies for a few years.
Because I don't know how they came up with all that money to begin with, because it was probably years ago,
Yeah,
and it's built since then. I wouldn't have any idea what
right.
was
But I mean,
used
if
to
you
that.
think
So
about it, hopefully we never have a need for another building
I
that
know.
expensive.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, that would be great if we did grow that much, but I don't foresee it.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Are there other questions? Do anybody else? Public comment? No? Anybody else?
Do you know how much Montville pays for fire? I know the village pays
It's the
$50,000.
same.
It's the same? Okay.
I would make a motion to accept the changes in this for the resolution.
That's second.
Do roll call?
Amy?
Yes.
Sheila?
Yes.
Anita?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Resolution is adopted.
I think that's all I
So you got? Board comments. Amy?
I know, have they poured any more foundations? I know,
They haven't started yet.
I know it does it twice a year.
When I
Yeah.
talked to Vince today about foundations, I compiled a list of all foundations since I started, when I got it, and who and what section they're at. September 15th is the cutoff date. He has two different cutoff dates, April 15th and September 15th. And he said that he expected all the foundations to be poured by the end of September.
Good?
Yep.
Sheila?
No.
Anita?
No, I'm quite done.
Lacy?
No, nothing.
Mine, one other thing, I know Anita's asked me multiple times about getting a deputy supervisor, at times that I am gone, or just having somebody else in here, so, I have made a decision to appoint a deputy supervisor, while I'm gone. I am going to appoint Bobby Scott as my deputy supervisor. She's been doing a fine, enormous job. She makes my job a lot easier, and I do have a couple appointments where I'm gonna be gone out of town for a week at a time coming up, so it just basically gives her, I'll still be an email and phone contact where if somebody does have a question, they can kind of talk to her. She won't be able to vote or any of that stuff, but I just want to let everybody know that I'll be doing that. And Lacey, if I could get you to swear her in sometime in the next week or so, for that.
We don't have a budget that was implemented for your deputy supervisor, so is that in?
We will not, we have to
Determined?
discuss that, we'll figure that out, and then, I mean, the limited amount of hours it's gonna be, but we'll discuss that and get it on next month and go through the budget, figure out where we can put it in, and it'll be voted on.
Okay.
Other than that, I think that's all I have. So we've had a lot of growth going in White Pigeon, new buildings going up. We're looking to keep things growing and moving. We're doing everything we can for people. Our goal with myself and Mr. Mixon, is we're not telling people no, they can't do it. We're trying to figure a way, what can we do to legally do this to help you get the things that you want. I think we've been doing pretty successful. We've got some big challenges coming up with some new buildings coming in, and we're working with the lawyer to figure out how to make this happen. Because growth is a good thing, and we're looking forward to possibly some new business going in our township, and yeah, more businesses, more tax revenue we gain, and it'll keep us from having to increase other people's taxes. So with that being said, that's all I have, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn. I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:10.
I'll second that.